Joey Sly's going to have the honor of getting us started. And we're underway from Seattle. And this will be a touchback, so we're going to need our first... to see the first action of this game. All right, let's get this show on the road. It is 1st and 10.
We're going to set. Set.
First play of the drive. Here's Walker. And he found some running room for a nice gain. It's a solid 7-yard pickup on first down. Now they're going to have 2nd and 3.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid gain, but it's also a run that you know, and you may come back to. Because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you'll really break the backs of a defense.
2nd and 3 now.
We're going to set.
Running with Walker again. And he has it up towards midfield before he's taken down at the 47. They get an even 10 on that play. And the Seahawks will have a first down.
Kate, I know you can see that smile on my face as we stand next to each other. Sure, I love that run. But I'm thinking about some great running backs. In fact, Corey Dillon, who created a lot of negative grades on my play sheet because I didn't want to carry out no fake. I wanted to watch the damage he could do like we just saw. Well, that was almost one of those nice chunk plays you like to see in the NFL, Kate, before he was able to recover and provide the hit and ultimately dislodge the football. You like to see that physical edge and scrappiness to contest any kind of shot plays down the field.
And it's going to be about a 3-yard pickup in the end. Shaq Griffin finishing that play off.
Hey, we know running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
Let's see what they draw up on a 3rd and 7.
We're going to set.
Staying with Walker. He gets the 1st and more to the 35. And he's going to be taken down at the 28. They strike for 23 yards. And it sets up Seattle with first down.
I'll tell you what, Kay, one of the things I'm most proud of coming out of broadcast are my O-line buddies that will hit me up during the game and say thank you. Thank you for finally showing some love and giving some light to what those big boys are doing up front. I got to play with some of the best to do. I got to see it up close and personal. And because of it, I'll never forget it. And they just showed up on that run.
They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets them up with 1st and goal.
You know what I like about that, Kate? I like that they're not coming out slow. They're willing to go with some looks here that will yield big yardage down the field instead of just settling for dinking and dunking the ball.
1st and goal. Here's Walker. And they beat him to the edge. That run stopped back at the line. He couldn't get anything there, and now it's 2nd and goal.
Where one defender failed, well, his buddy was there to swarm to the ball and make that play just as it gets to the line of scrimmage.
Another chance at it on 2nd and goal, still from the 5. Handoff running left, Walker. And he runs it across, touchdown! The Seahawks finish up an excellent opening series. Kenneth Walker, the touchdown! Oh, and it's no good. So an early hiccup after the touchdown as the score will stay at 6-zip. On now is Dixon to kick this one away. This one's fielded at the 4-yard line. He's brought down at what looks like the 24-yard line. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Blown back, it's the handoff. And they take it across the goal line. Touchdown, Tennessee. The Titans finish off their opening drive. Extra point is up and good from Slot. And the Titans literally won up that opening touchdown drive, as they take a 7-6 lead here. All set for the kickoff. Sly with the honors. And that's over the 20, the landing zone, and almost everything else. So that football coming out to the 30-yard line. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. A give up the gut to Walker. And he has enough room to gain about 4.
You know, Kate, these are some of the little hidden plays in a game. Right? Doesn't look like a whole lot on the stat sheet, but A, it gets you good yardage. B, it sets up your play action. And C, most importantly, keeps that defense guessing.
From the 34. And he just got it away before the hit, but the pass winds up incomplete. It's going to be 3rd down.
You know, that was a play, Kate, right there where you need to buy your receivers just enough time to get open along their routes. And your quarterback enough time to find and hit him with the throw. Time? Well, that's not what he had. O-line couldn't hold up, and it forces the incompletion.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. Just got it away before the hit, but it doesn't matter. It's incomplete. 4th down coming up. Seahawks bringing out the punt team. And this is the first time he's been called on today. Only needed once last week in the win, and he matches that total here. How about this? I think that's going to be a safety. Talk about a couple of wild twists over the course of just one play.
Well, Kate, I got to tell you, if that's not the perfect example that an NFL game can change in an instant.
Yeah, and there were a couple of instants on that play, partner.
We go from a possible touchdown to a turnover to one of the most unlikely safeties our eyes have ever seen. And it all happens in a mere couple seconds. Welcome to the NFL.
And they'll take him down at the 43-yard line.
When you get contributions like that out of your kickoff returner, it is such a boost to an offense. This is about showing no fear, hitting the lane hard, a determined run back, and setting your offense up with great field position.
The Seahawks in good field position to start this drive off as they head up to the line. 1st and 10.
Ready? Set.
Now an inside give to Walker. And he's able to manage a couple on that run.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
This is Walker on 2nd. And the defense is all over this one for a big loss.
Kate, I'll never forget walking into the Hall of Famer Dwight Freeney's meeting room with those defensive linemen. The late, great John Tierlink, his coach, he had a little sign up in his office, and it was sacks, and that money sign was the S, because ends and D linemen make their money with sacks. But you win games when they stop the run like that for a tackle for loss.
And that's a win for the pass rush. Hit as he threw it, leads to the incompletion. 4th down coming up.
You need to buy your receivers enough time to get open along their route, and your quarterback enough time to find and hit them with the throw. When the line doesn't hold up, incompletions follow.
And that kick a little too well struck. He drives it into the end zone for a touchback. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Give now to the running back. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. Excellent pickup to move the chains. 36 yards in the end.
Best run games in this league at balance. Can run it inside, and as they just showed right there, doing damage on the outside.
So the big play gets him inside the opposing 45, Brock, with a new set of downs to boot. Oh, he taps it quick to the receiver coming across here. And he's caught after a gain of about 2. Brought down by Riq Woolen. We're ready to go with the second quarter, and it's Titans football. They'll begin the quarter with 2nd and 8. From the 41. Hits his running back. Touchdown, Tennessee! The Titans take a second quarter lead. Here's Sly to try the point after. The point after splits the uprights. And the Titans push their lead to 6. All set for the kickoff. Sly with the honors. And he got all of that one out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. First and 10 now from the 30.
Go set.
Running is Walker. And he's going to manage a lone yard on that drive up the gut. Eric Armstead there on the stop. Just a gain of 1, and that brings up 2nd and 9.
Go set. Go set.
Running left, here's Walker. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. A gain of 2 follows up a gain of 1, and now they're left with 3rd and 7.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
Go set.
They're going to throw it on 3rd and long. He has the first over the middle. And he does quite a bit of damage before they finally take him down.
You know, Kay, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
Walker on 1st down. And he'll get this inside the 10 to the 9. A nice pickup of 11 there, Brock, and they'll have 1st and goal to figure out.
It's got to be so demoralizing as a defense when you go up against a running back who just keeps those legs churning like a piston in an engine, and that effort's contagious. This entire offense is getting a boost, and he busts those tackles.
And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
I talked to a bunch of different GMs, Kate, especially around draft time, and they all say the same thing. Linebackers are so hard to find. It's hard to transition from the college game that's in so much space to this game.
And he's going to fight forward and get in. Touchdown! The Seahawks tie and can take the lead here in the 2nd. Kenneth Walker, the touchdown. He would not be denied that close to the end zone, Brock. I think it might have taken 5 or 6 guys tackling him to keep him from diving across the line for 6.
Certainly a second effort touchdown, no question. The backs who become fan favorites, we've seen it through the generations, and they set the curve for their peers, are the ones who just fight through that stop. It will not be denied of a touchdown.
On now is Dixon to kick this one away. Valus Jones now on the return. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Plowing up the middle. And he gets him around 6 there. Tackle made by Ernest Jones. Give him around 6. That's going to make it 2nd and 4.
That run's not going to turn many heads, but at the end of the year, I promise you, if you average over 5 yards a run, you can be a Pro Bowler.
They give it to him again. And he's brought down for a loss.
Perception and reality, Kate. The perception out there from the public is edge rushers are defined by their sacks. The reality in the locker room and in the huddle is you can be defined by your relentlessness. And his motor never stopped. Helped him track it down for a loss on the outside.
Here they come. This is 3rd and 5. Love out of the shotgun. Taking a deep shot here. That's complete inside the 35-yard line. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Tennessee. The Titans take a 2nd quarter lead. So no mistaking that play call, Brock. They send everybody on deep goes, and it winds up paying off. What a play.
And you think on the other side, defensively, they'd be ready for this. But this is truly a breakdown in the secondary. They're just not able to make a play on the ball in the air. And the end result, as you said, a big play and a touchdown.
And he reaches the end zone, so they'll be up to a 7-point lead. All set for the kickoff. Sly with the honors. And the kickoff is into and then out of the end zone. Touchback. This drive starting from the 30. This, the snap that's going to take us inside the 2-minute warning. They send a tight end in motion. The give now to Walker. And he drives that front backward on a gain of 4. So a crazy first half has finally reached the 2-minute warning. The Seahawks with a long field ahead. 2nd and 6 coming up here. Here's Walker running right. And this defense offering no room at all up the gut there. No gain. Eric Armstead there on the stop. Looks like no gain on 2nd down, and that leads us to 3rd and 6.
Job one of so many D tackles in this league is eat up space. Don't get moved off your spot. But the difference makers, they just not only eat the space, they eat those runners too.
On 3rd down, Walker. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
Ask for a little bit more on that one. Ask that running back to come up with more than he's used to on 3rd down. He made it look like just another day at the office. I wouldn't expect every conversion to go as smoothly. He sure made that one look routine.
From the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. Here's Darnold. He gets it complete to Kenneth Walker. And they get this down to the 44 before he stopped. Pickup of 12 on that play. And the Seahawks will have a first down.
To this day, I can still see the faces of the big guys in the huddle. When you call a screen like that, instead of them just getting knocked backwards, they get to be salesmen. They get to push those linemen downfield and then tee off and go hit somebody like they did right there.
And he won't win the race to the outside. That run's bottled up at the line.
I don't mind that call on the early downs. Give that defense something to think about. You got the inside run between the tackles, and whether it's jet sweeps or a little swing pass, or in that case a toss, make sure you threaten to the outside.
2nd and 10, need to get some positive yardage here.
Real set.
Here's Darnold to throw. Taking a big shot for the end zone. And there's a man there. It's intercepted. Picked off by Kader Kohou. And the Titans take possession as he makes his 4th interception of our season. Well, I know I don't need to tell you, partner, but if you're going to try to get aggressive, really push a throw downfield like that, you have to be smart about how you do it.
Yeah, that is spot on, Kate. If you've got to find that spot when you know the coverage won't be able to hold up, especially as you go 20, 30, 40 yards down the field. Hey, listen, these defenders in the league today, you throw a ball deep down the field like that, it turns into a 50-50 ball. More times than not, they can make a play and take it away just as they did.
Now this is intercepted. That is back-to-back passes. And the Seahawks get the football back with minimal time to go in our half. Well, they had the advantage for a moment, Brock, but turns out that is all just that moment because they throw an interception to give the ball right back.
And for once, both coaches on both sidelines are preaching the same message. Take care of the ball. Not often you see back-to-back plays end in interceptions, and we're right back to where we were just a couple.
All the way, touchdown Seattle! The Seahawks earn the chance to tie before halftime. It seems like a lot of the time, Brock, even if the results aren't quite as flashy every rep, tight ends are even more reliable scorers than a lot of receivers are when it comes to the passing game.
Yeah, I would agree with that, but there's also a lot more real estate for them to work with, right? Think of the receivers. They got to deal with the sidelines, that 12th defender. Many of these tight ends, they've got a ton of field to work with, and when they prove to the quarterback they could be a difference maker, he'll look for them.
Time left for maybe a return plus a play here as they send this away. On the return, here's Jones. Here comes the final play of our first half. Yep, as expected, they go to the ground to start this one off. And he stopped on a nice gain on what is the final play of this first half. So we finished 2 quarters, a couple more to come after this short break. More of the NFL on EA Sports after this. Welcome back, everybody. Kate Scott, Brock Huard with you as we're about set to begin the 3rd quarter. Well, we're set up for an incredible second half, all tied as we kick it away here in quarter number 3. And we'll have to wait at least a few moments longer for an exciting start to this second half. We've got a touchback. First and 10 now from the 30. Here's the handoff. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. Wow, they get a big old 32 yards out of that play, as well as a new set of downs. Down inside the 40 now with a first down following that last play. Back-to-back carries here. Only gets a yard there to make it 2nd and 9.
They got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get first downs against the better defenses in this league.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Back to the well again. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss.
I know they say it any time he comes up in an interview, but they appreciate having him on this defense so much, Kate, because of plays like that one. Those are great instincts. It takes instincts and want to come up and run support, and not many corners can make that stop.
And the Seahawks adding an extra DB here. 3rd down coming. Another carry for him. Decent gain here, but short of the first. It's a gain of 7 yards, and now it's 4th down.
Well, that doesn't net a first down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it in the NFL.
Offense going for it here. 4th and 5. Here's a quick throw to the left. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
Sure seems like he knew exactly what he wanted, and he got it, going right where he wanted to with the ball off the snap.
And they've got themselves another 1st and 10. Right up the gut. And he's swallowed up in the middle. No gain on the run. Byron Murphy there to make the play. No progress on 1st down, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10. Here's a toss headed right. And that's good for a gain of 5. Julian Love bringing that one to an end. Here's 5 on that play. They need 5 more now on 3rd down.
With all these collisions these running backs take between the tackles, sure nice to get a little crease on the outside, get in that open field, and let these runners do their thing.
So now here's 3rd and 5. Hand off running left, Pollard. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage. Working quickly here. 1st down, and they go right back to him. And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
Everyone's prepped. It's 2nd down now. Looking right, and he finds him. And this play reaches the 12-yard line before the stop is made. Let's see what they draw up on this 3rd and 7. This is Pollard running left. And he gets absolutely popped to end that one. 1 yard on the play, and now they've got 4th down and 6. There'll be a field goal try from Joey Slye. A pretty automatic look for him from the left. Up and good from Joseph. And they've taken back the lead.
I never saw a play script that ended with a field goal. It was always a touchdown that you wanted. That's 3 points, and it's enough to give them the lead.
All set for the kickoff. Slye with the honors. And no return as this bounces through the end zone for a touchback. First and 10 now from the 30.
Ready?
First play of the drive. Here's Walker. He's off to the races. Hits the 20. Launches, and he's got it. Touchdown. The Seahawks grab the lead on their first series of the half. Kenneth Walker, the touchdown. His third of the game on the ground. Wow, just sensational speed from the back that time, Brock. He found a seam, got through it, and he was gone.
You know, it's one thing, Kate, to have singles hitters, right? And you love those, and you appreciate guys that can get on base. But it's the home run.
On now is Dixon to kick this one away. And that one bounces through the end zone for a touchback. First and 10 now from the 30.
Let's go.
They'll start this one on the ground with Pollard. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
His goal is pretty clear, Kate. Crash forward and then crash inside. Set that edge, but if you can come inside and bury that runner before it gets started, all the better.
All right, here we go. Second down. Love from the gun. Has him on the quick hitter. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. A big play, 23 yards to move those chains.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
First and 10, ball set up at the 48. Shotgun now for Love. Short pass brought in. And a solid gain there. Gets him across the 45 before he goes out.
Well, that's a pretty similar result to a first down run play. Moves it forward, keeps you on schedule, and makes second and third down a whole lot easier to manage.
Halfway to the marker. It's second and 5.
Let's go now. Check. Come 19. Go.
From the 43. That's going to be caught, Tony Pollard. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
Translatable skills, that's what you call it. So effective as a runner, but those same traits that make him a great runner, adept at getting those yards, well, he translates it now as a receiver in the open field.
They're set up at the 35 now. First and 10, it's Pollard. And that carry only nets one on the plunge up the gut.
Okay, this is why you got to be careful to just run it always on first down. You got to break your tendencies. Casual fan, well, that casual fan knew what was coming, but more importantly, this defensive front did too.
Here we go, second and 9. A quick throw is swatted away, incomplete.
I know a DB in the stat sheet loves to see INT and not PBU, but as soon as he realized a pick wasn't possible, he does the next best thing and knocks it away.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got third down. pass right side complete. And a nice game here, but it stopped short of the first.
You can earn your money in the NFL in all sorts of different ways, but defensively, in a league where you're just not hitting as much in training camp, you're not tackling as much as they got to in the old days, when you can make a play in the open field, keep it short like that, I promise you some money will follow.
Looks like they will indeed try it 4th and 2. Incomplete. So the defense rises to the challenge and gives the ball back to their offense.
Even the best receivers, they've got occasional breaks in concentration. You just never want to see it happen. One of the most important snaps of the game. If we know anything about this guy, though, it's he'll be up for the challenge the next time the ball comes his way.
And they beat him to the edge. That run stopped back at the line. Call it no gain on that run, and they face 2nd and 10.
These linebackers of today, they are so quick. They're so twitchy. You don't get a body on them in a hurry, they're going to stick you right at the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 10. Need to get some positive yardage here. Staying with Walker. Room down the left sideline. And they take it across the goal line. Touchdown, Seattle. The Seahawks now lead by 10. Kenneth Walker, the touchdown. Point after up and good for Myers. And the Seahawks drive their lead to 11. On now is Dixon to kick this one away. Return starts at the 3. And this drive will start inside the 25. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Hand it off to the back. And they'll surrender just a lone yard. That brings up 2nd down.
The one thing I could say positive about the execution of that play is at least he didn't go backwards.
So we're down to the 2-minute warning here from Seattle. Titans trailing by 11. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9.
Here we go, set.
Give now to the running back. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
We take a break from his regularly scheduled programming of pass coverage duties to see him adding a little contribution in the run support. And his teammates, you can just see the body language. A little nod, a little grin. They'll welcome the reinforcements every time.
Defense comes through. That's going to back him up and bring up 4th down.
That sure ended up being a worst-case scenario. Pass rush just kept coming and bearing down, and he was looking for an escape that wasn't there. Just one of those plays in hindsight, Kate, where you really got to understand, I got to cut bait, cut my losses, and avoid such a negative play.
Able to find Jones. And this one's brought to a halt at about the 36-yard line. Now we get a timeout taken by the Titans. That's their first. And they still have 2 available for them as we approach the end of this game. Down a couple of scores. Those 2 timeouts they've got left are going to be crucial. Here's 1st down. Blown back in the backfield, and they give it to him. And he's going to be brought down at the 42. Minute 6 on the play, bringing up 2nd and 4.
I'm not kidding you, Kate. A run of that length at the NFL level, honestly, is the equivalent of a run of 15-plus at the high school level. It's hard in the run game to make yards, and they just got a very successful one.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. They give it to him again. And they'll bring him down after a pretty short gain. Tennessee calling its 2nd timeout now. Still one more in their pocket to use. All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3.
Let's go.
Going with Pollard on the ground. Good news, he stopped the clock and moves the chains. Bad news, they only have 10 seconds left. That's good for 7 yards. And that'll be a Tennessee 1st down.
He easily had the yardage for a first, but he was hungry for a lot more. I think that tackle prevented something that was going to be a lot bigger than just a 1st down pickup.
Lone back gets the handoff. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory. Officials signaling for a timeout, and with 5 seconds remaining, just one last play left in this one.
A humble 5 to 6 yard gain on the ground. Not a huge gain, not a game-changing play by any means, but one that keeps you on schedule and takes some of the starch out of that front 7.
Here's the lone back on the handoff. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot. So several thousand 12th men and women cheering as the